Hello, I'm Patty Simpson with Simpson Math. In this video, we're going to learn about the expected value. In a previous video, we talked about the weighted mean. And that's really all an expected value is. It's just a weighted mean. It's just an average. That's all it is. So we have this fancy formula that says that the expected value is the mean. Remember, we use that mu to represent the mean. And the way we're going to get it is we're going to take each one of our random variable outcomes, each one of those values for our random variable, and we're going to multiply them times the probability of that outcome occurring, and we're going to add them all together. So to find the expected value, first we're just going to create a probability distribution where we have to decide what are our possible outcomes. And those possible outcomes are going to be our x values, or our random variable values. Then we're going to determine the probability of each of those outcomes. Then we just take the random variable, those outcomes, and multiply them by our probabilities and add them together. So let's go through an example. Roll a six-sided die. What's the expected roll? First thing we're going to do is create a probability distribution. So we need to know what are the outcomes. Well, if I roll a six-sided die, I could roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Those are my random variables. Then we're just going to determine the probability of each of those. So what is the probability that I roll a 1? Well, there's 1 out of 6 sides, so the probability I roll a 1 is 1/6. There's 1 2 out of 6 sides, so the probability I roll a 2 is 1/6. There's 1 3 out of 6 sides, so the probability I roll a 3 is 1/6, and that's true for the rest of the numbers as well. The probability of each is 1/6. I have created a probability distribution. This gives all my possible outcomes and the probability of each of them. Now, once I have that, then it's nice and easy, because all I'm going to do is take my random variable and multiply it times the probability of it occurring. So I'm just doing that, that outcome times its weight, or times its probability. So 1 times 1/6, I'm going to multiply 2 times 1/6, I'm going to multiply 3 times 1/6, I multiply 4 times its probability, the 5 times its probability, and that outcome times its probability. And then once I have those products, I'm just going to add them together. So 1 times 1/6 is 1/6, plus that's 2/6, plus 3/6, plus 4/6, plus 5/6, plus 6/6, which equals 21/6. Do some reduction, reduce by 3, and I have 7/2. Or you could say 3 and a half, 3.5, 3.5. So my expected value, or the average roll, would be 3.5. That would be my average roll. In other words, sometimes I'm going to roll 1, sometimes I'm going to roll 6. But if I roll the dice over and over again and I add up my rolls and divide by the number of rolls I have, on average, I'm going to roll a 3.5. So all expected value is a weighted mean. We'll look at more examples in the next video. Math Made Simple at Simpson Math. Thanks for watching.